On June 6, 2024, Deborah Debbie Denise Warner transcended this earth to be with her Heavenly Father. At the time of her departure, Deborah was with her son Marketh Bolden, two daughters, Lockwisha Mac Times Perkins and Kiana Tyson, her grandson Miles Times, and her son-in-law Maurice Times and his wife Angela Times. Those who knew Debbie knew her as a remarkable individual known for her vibrant and multifaceted personality. Her free-spirited nature and unapologetic approach to life made her a magnetic presence, drawing people in with her genuine and sincere heart. Her craziness and daring attitude often led her on adventurous escapades where her fearlessness shone brightly. Debbie lived aloud, embracing her true self in every aspect. She was funny, sarcastic, and witty, always ready with a quick quip or a clever remark. Deborah was born on May 31, 1957, Rayville, LA, to Dolores Warner and Caesar Wagner. She was loved and cared for by her grandparents John and Beatrice Warner until age 10. At the age of 10, Deborah moved to Vallejo, California to live with her mother, three brothers, and sister, where she met and fell in love with Jewel Henry Mack JRB. From their union, they had two daughters, Lockwisha and Kiana. Despite several attempts to make their relationship work, they eventually split, and Deborah moved to Texas to give birth to Kiana. She later returned to California to reset her life. Deborah attended Contra Costa College, focusing on a degree in business. As the oldest of six children, Deborah was a pillar for her family, providing financial support to her mother and being a central figure for her entire family, including her grandparents. In 2003, Deborah returned to her hometown of Rayville, Louisiana, where she stayed until 2008. She then moved to Rockwall, Texas, to be close to her children and grandchildren, who were blessed with her presence until her passing. Deborah is now watching over her three children, Marketh Bolden, Lockwisha Mac Times Perkins, and Kiana Tyson, as well as her five grandchildren, Emery Perkins, Kendall Shields, Amory Times, Miles Times, and Isaac Times. She leaves to mourn her mother and stepfather, Dolores and Jessie Tyson, her sister, Kimberly Tyson, her stepsisters, Melody and Veda Davis, her three brothers, Daryl, Van, and Theodore White, along with their families. She is also survived by three aunts, three uncles, and a host of cousins, nephews, nieces, and friends. Deborah is reunited with two of her life loves, Jewel Henry Mack JRB and Ricky Partee, her father, Caesar Wagner, her stepfather, George Davis JRB, her brother, Quinton Davis C. Oster, and her grandparents, Beatrice and John Warner.
So, I was born and raised here in Dallas. So I found out about Prophet when I was 13. So I met Debbie for the first time when I was 15. I was really excited, but also mad because I was like, "What you mean I'm adopted? What you mean my whole life is a lie? Who is these people? And why is they in California?" I get flown out. Oh no, we drove out the first time. We drove from Texas to California, so that I could meet my sister who knew about me my whole life, who I did not know. And my brother, and I was like, I got a brother. They had a baby after me. What happened? I don't understand it. So it's California, and I see the cutest little boy that I've ever seen in life, toddling on stairs. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they all right. And like this girl who looks like an older version of what I would love to look like. And I was like, she looks like me. And I never had anybody in my family who looked like me. So I was enamored. And then they kidnapped me. And she did. So my sister kidnapped me. And they took me to Debbie's house in, what was it? El Cabrini up on the hill. And so we went and bought matching outfits because that's what sisters are supposed to do when they meet the first time. And we went to the amusement park and she told me the rides weren't scary and she lied. And got me on these rides and I was crying because I'm scared of heights. And our matching shirts. And then I was like, I want to go home to my mama, right? And so she's like, we're going. I was like, not my mama, not your mama, my mom. I want to go home with my mom. We get back to the house. And Debbie's like, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, oh Lord, what is, I don't, we spent maybe an hour together, all in group settings. I've never had it. And she's like, come in my room. And I'm like, okay. And I come in the room, and she's not in the room. And I'm like, why is this lady not in the room? Why is she in the room? She's not in the room. And then she opens the door, and she's in a bath towel wrapped around her body, coming out of the shower. And I'm like, what is going on? I have no idea. And she comes out, and she gets this oil, baby oil, and she starts rubbing her body. And she's like, this stretch mark is from you. And this stretch mark is from Keisha. This stretch mark is from my. And I'm like, ma'am, how do you know that was for me? She's like, look, you did this to my belly while she's rubbing her belly. I'm like, I need to go back to Texas. And are strange. But what I will say is, and what I told her, and I've always resounded, is I know that she sacrificed the most to give me the best life, right? In addition to that, what I know is my sister sacrificed a lot of her life in order for my brother and I to have the lives that we live. And in addition to that, because we're sacrificed, every generation has gotten better. And so Debbie did not have an easy life, and we know that. And we mourn for the fact that she did not have an easy life. Well, we appreciate the sacrifices and the decisions that she made in her life so that we all can have better lives. And so what I tell my sister often and what I thank her for is that I, and my brother broke that generational curse. Absolutely. We broke it, right? We ain't talked about it. We haven't played about it. We check on our mental health. We hold each other accountable. We call each other up to better and greatness. And all of that is because of the sacrifices that Deborah Denise Warner made. And we are very privileged to have been in her atmosphere, ecosphere, lifetime span. And so my sister loves to say how we chose it, right? We are all here with whoever we are here with because we chose them for whatever reason and whatever we need to learn. I think that the lesson that us children of Deborah Warner have learned is that life is short, but life is also long when you make the wrong decisions. It's really long when you don't make the right decisions. And so I appreciate the sacrifice that she made for me to have a great life. I appreciate the sacrifice that she made to try and get me, Keish and Marquis to have a better outcome than her. And I think that she's very proud of the way that we have shown up and grown up in the world and how our children, whenever Marquis started having some, we get married everything. So he's starting and I'm done. So I think that she will be proud of the way that our children have grown up and will grow as a result of sacrificing.
Great. Yeah. Good one.
She wrote a poem. It's called Don't Mourn for Me. Do not mourn for me, for I have lived a life with no regrets. I also learned to forgive. The lessons of life come in all shapes and forms. Mysteries through the journey help us move on. No one knows what the end will be, so travel with grace for those you may see. When this physical life is all said and done, you will be alone with nowhere to run. Cleaning your soul to prepare for the next place, do right by others for a clear exit space. When God calls us home, everything must be right, so drop all your baggage and have life. For I have mourned at a life full of grief. My new disposition is a body of peace. I am no longer suffering or in pain. I truly am laughing in the purple rain. I finished the work I was sent here to do. Until we meet again, please know I love you. Written by Okereke.
Okay.
Like, we were cussing at each other. I was going to tell Maury to get out of the car, catch a Uber. I did. But fast forward to the whole time, my grandmother was actually made her cry, and she was shouting, and she was like, "You guys are siblings, you guys don't need to fight." And us being like, not realizing how serious life is. I was like, yeah, still wanted to argue. But I got all the way to my dad's house. I have one, like, all the way from Germany to visit home and stuff like that. So, you're like, dang, how you come out here to argue with my sister? But looking back, it's so stupid because you never realize, like, Maury just saying, grandma was saying, like, don't argue with your siblings. You're like, what do I do? Like, argue with my siblings all the time. But this morning, my mom was like, hey, I need you guys to go to Costco to grab some things for the funeral. And I wanted to make sure that I went with them already because I think my grandma wanted me to go with her to make up for that time. So, if anything, it always makes me realize no matter how much we fight, I think like moving on, I don't even want to do that. I'm 28, but it's for my grandmother. The bigger picture, to get along, care about each other, the big issue. So, that was pretty much my story. I mean, I got like a million story, but
And Kiana and Miles, Marquise, their cousins and stuff, through her love of her life, Juliet. So, when Deborah moved here to Texas, and we got to know her, we have these fabulous dinners all the time. And when Deborah had a fact, it was a fact. So we were there, we were eating, we were having some greens and chicken and potato salad and candy jams and stuff. And so Deborah was sitting talking about music. She loved music. Oh, Freddie Jackson. And Deborah that Freddie Jackson sold more records than Michael Jackson and Luther Vandross. So the rest of the night, art, she wasn't going to give up on Joe. Yes, Freddie Jackson sold more records than Michael Jackson and Luther Vandross combined. I said, you know what? I'm going to give you that.
Yeah, I said I was looking and I was like, it's so many stories. You all don't understand. But one in particular that always makes me laugh, and I tell everybody, is that this lady calls me so many times, along with everybody else in the family. One particular day, she called me and said somebody was her act. I was like, and she said the man next door. I had to reason with her. It was amazing because she was serious. And I said, look, Deborah. I said, I said, how did you get up there? She said, I don't know how I got up there, and she blamed me. He blamed on this little tiny Asian lady. I was like, you can't lift him up there. You can't give him a walk. Take him out. And then, it's like I said, it's just so many stories like that. And it's like, it just took so much time to convince her that there's no one that. I gave up. I was like, I always, anytime I had issues, I always call Elle. I'm like, Elle, you need to do something to her. So every time, and also I always work overnight. I always work, right? I always have like two jobs or whatever like that. She gave me a call. She called her. She said, Reese, I know you're at work, but I need somebody to come bring me some food. I need somebody to come get me some food. I said, I cannot leave work to get you some food. Then I'll call him. I was like, no more. So that's just so many. That's all. That's like,
Anybody else?
Oh, you know, my.
In life, you think that things are so permanent and they're forever, but nothing in life is forever. And so I just wanted to share some of my mother's memories, some of the loves of her life. She was married 3 times. And all of them, when they were in love, they were in love and it was passionate and whatever. And she just lived the way she lived. And she was unapologetic about her life and how she lived. And for that, she gave us courage to also be unapologetic and to live courageously and full. So just wanted to share that. And then we'll just have some more memory. We're going to do a video slide. My son will eventually get this working and going. But I will conclude my mother's conclusions. Thank you for sharing this special time with us, celebrating life in any form as a sacred ceremony. It should only be shared with those who truly love and care for you. I'm a big component of that. I think when we have special moments in life, they need to be shared with people that deem us special as well as us them. Because if we don't, we don't want bad energy around. As we conclude, I want to share some of her favorite quotes. So I will let my daughter and my brother share this story. My mother had this quote when we would go out or we knew we would be out. She would say, "Don't forget to pack your whole bag."
Lord.
Take all your goodies with you. Make sure you have a toothbrush, toothpaste. You don't want to be nowhere smelling funky. Pack your whole bag. That was her thing. She was big about hygiene. Clean bags. She would also love to say, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. And then she loved to say, "Where's the dessert?" And she would say dessert. She would say desserts. The other thing is, she would say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And then this one was big for me because when I went to print her obituaries this week, I was standing there, me and Angela were going through and I'm getting everything done, and the guy tells me the price. And there's these 2 ladies standing next to me, and one of them leans over. She said, "You got it?" And I said, "Yeah, I got it." And she said, "You sure you got it?" And I said, "Yeah, I got it." And she said, "Are you sure you got it?" And I said, "Well, what do you want to get?" Yes. Pretty much. And she said, "Yeah, what do you have?" I said, "Well, what do you want to get?" She said, "Well, I'll pay that." And then her sister said, "I'll pay the other back." And so they paid for her. Did not know them, never met them. They went up to the register, took care of paying for her obituary. And my mother would always say, because I'm a giver, and so I love to give to people. Who I am is who I've always been. It's just, and my mother was the same way. And she said, when giving, you will not always get back from who you gave to. Don't get upset. It will come back. Just keep giving. And that was her quote. She would always tell us that. And so I live by that motto. I haven't stopped giving. Her other famous quote, and there's a story behind it. She said, "Don't be like a politician, tell the truth." We're driving down the road, and she said, "That's where these politicians get in trouble. They don't tell the truth." She said, "If it was me, I'd just say, I've been with this one, I've been with that." And I was like, "Mama, stop." She was just so candid and open about who she was in her life. Her other quote was, "Thank God for Jesus." And then she always said, "A closed fist can't receive. Open your hand."
That's right.
And then she would always say, "You could catch more bees with honey." And her famous quote with Emery is, "I'm new, not old." Because Emery and Miles love to tell her, "Oh, lady, stop." And she say, "I'm not old, I'm new." And so that was her thing. And so anyway, as we celebrate the life of my mom, I just want to thank you guys all for coming out to share this moment with me. My mother was an amazing woman. As I got older, I truly understood who she was. And what I learned in these last couple of months is we have to give each other grace in life. If we don't give grace when we get older and things start to happen, we're going to want other people to be graceful to us. So we have to be graceful to other people. The other thing I learned is don't hold on to stuff. Let it go. I wish I had forgiven her sooner. I wish I understood her sooner. And so, you know, I'm okay. We had 6 months of really working some stuff out, and I got to work it out with her, and I'm really grateful for that. Let's see. Anything else I want to say? Tag lights. Life is short. Tag light. I had to clean her apartment yesterday, and I looked at all the stuff that we bought that she never wore. Clothes that still had tags on them. Furniture that we spent a lot on. And I'm like, we do all of this for enjoy the relationship. So, in conclusion, thank you guys. I appreciate you for coming. Her request, and she has told us this since we were young. I want to party when I die. Don't be sad for me. Celebrate, have some drinks, listen to music, and I have a playlist in my purse. And so that is what we plan to do today, to celebrate her life. We are gonna party. So thank you guys for coming. We have food, drinks, everything. Enjoy it with us.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Cheese from Wendy's high. And eat it up. Made you look at the chicken in my Wendy's soup. Hello guys. Like, I'm not gonna come to the party. I'm gonna show up.
Like 5 hours to worry like last 5 minutes. I can't be in the photo.
We'll be like watching you on the camera and he'll be like in his
You have to, somebody, he has to stay with somebody, man.
What do you think?
If he gonna show up to anywhere on time, y'all gotta get him.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's not here, the mask. He's at work. Oh, is he? Okay, I'll give him.
Well,